Yo, what up, guys? It's Joey KO. It's Mixed Martial Mike.
Yes, sir.
And here we
yes,
go.
sir.
Talking about Berlanga and what's next for him. Obviously, those that are following and fans of our channel know that we did a video about him before, talking about his great knockout streak. He is now at the end of that streak. It ended at 16 straight first-round knockouts. And not only did the next opponent go past the first round, but he actually went the full distance.
It's kind of fucked up that I had to go those rounds with the people here. I know that they wanted a first-round knockout, but I enjoy getting the experience.
I think it was a 6-round or 8-round fight. Quote me if I'm wrong. But
I believe so.
He went the full distance. It was the longest fight that he's had in his career. And what we found out in that fight is that he can go rounds. He remains powerful throughout the fight. He didn't look gassed out towards the end, and he showed a lot of will and composure. He was able to compose himself. So a lot of good signs when you go rounds. You're not obviously going to knock everybody out.
I would definitely say that it's better for him, definitely as a young 23-year-old man, especially right before the cusp of fighting the gatekeepers, because there's always a progression in the opponents you fight. First, you fight the bumskis, right? You fight the no-names, you fight the Uber drivers, the janitors. Then you eventually fight decent fighters that can give you rounds, and he's finally reached that point. And if he's going to fight Gabriel Rosado, credit to you for even mentioning that matchup. Now we're starting to hear the rounds of that. If that is a fight that is next for him or very close, he wasn't going to be able to compete with Rosario, in my humble opinion, without getting rounds in. One thing about Rosario is he's very durable, and he can take a great punch. And he's taking probably harder shots than Berlanga.
Hey, why you stealing my fight, though? That's the fight that I say should be
I'm not
next.
stealing the fight.
It was an accident. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying that I believe Rosario can pose that obstacle for him. A guy who could take a lot of shots. So the fact is, he doesn't have to worry about that record anymore. He can just focus on the fight. The fights in front of him now is going to be beneficial in his future.
But the question that I was going to pose is who you think he should fight next? I have Rosario. You stole my goddamn thunder. But, let me hear another name. Gabe might be a little too soon right now, because I feel like Gabe is a lot better than what his record shows. The guy has fought everybody. He fought both Charlo brothers. He fought Triple G. He fought everybody. Very early, too. When he was coming up, just a couple of fights, he was fighting guys with more experience. He's just a guy who's fought at a very high level.
Try to fight someone that has a lot of experience.
Gabe Rosario is a gatekeeper.
David Benavidez, I believe, is too far along.
That's 168.
Oh, really? I'm bugging.
Yeah, 154.
Then that's the crazy part, that I don't know any contenders at 154.
You can fight like an old guy like Ishe Smith. Not a big puncher, but definitely very skilled and tricky. That might be a good step of fight right now, because he is still fighting and he hasn't won a fight in a while. Also has a lot of experience at the very top level guys. I think he even beat Gabe Rosario early in his career, but right now I think Gabe is probably better and more dangerous than Ishe Smith. So that's a fight I throw out there since you stole my fight.
I'm upset.
I gave you your credit. I said that you came up with it. I'm looking at the divisions right now just to have like an idea of who the fuck is in that division. You got Julian Williams, Jared Hurd, Brian Castano, Lara, Tony Harrison, Liam Smith, Erickson Lubin, Patrick Teixeira, and that's the top 10 of 150.
Those are some very good names.
And that's the division he's in?
That's the top 10.
But he's in that division? Wait, no. What's super middleweight?
Super middleweight is 168.
So he fights at a bigger division, though. He fights at super middleweight.
Who? Berlanga?
Yeah. So we gotta
respect that. He's a big guy. He's a big guy.
We're talking stupid.
Yeah, we gotta
Who's that
respect that whole shit. This is the ESPN rankings of super middleweight. We have Canelo ranked number 1, Caleb Plant ranked number 2, 3 is David Benavidez. That's why I mentioned him earlier. 4 is Callum Smith. So I believe a Callum Smith would be a good person for Berlanga to try to fight.
You wildin'. He would get that guy's.
I'm wildin'. 5 is Billy Joe Saunders. 6 is Anthony Durrell.
Maybe a Darrell.
7 is John Ryder. 8 is Daniel Jacobs. Lionel Thompson is 9. Calitro or Trucks is 10. Do you believe he would be the favorite against any of these 10 opponents?
He theoretically can fight Charlo because Charlo could go up to 168. He's fighting at 160.
Yeah, but we're not fantasy speakers. We gotta have some semblance of intelligence.
Nah, but he could
we just
easily
can't say
fight. He's a easily.
That's not true. It's not true. What you're saying is not true.
How is not feasible when he's mad big?
It's not feasible. It's not feasible at all.
160. It's very feasible.
No, it's not. I disagree with you. It's not feasible at all. He's not. He's
at
not
168.
fighting.
You don't think he can make 168?
No, it's not feasible. The fight's gotta make some semblance of sense. It has to make sense. These guys are champions. Why would he go up to 168 to fight Berlanga? That wouldn't give him anything. That doesn't help him in anything.
No, Berlanga could go to 160 and fight for the title.
At 18-0, what's his record? No, what are we talking about? Yes, he has 17 fights.
Nah,
we're talking about
time.
Right now.
He got
17
time.
fights in his career. No, we're talking about next.
Next, I would say Ishe Smith, former world champion, will be a good step up. If not Gabe Rosario, but Gabe is a little more risky. I know from the other guys that you mentioned, the number 10 guy, Strout, is definitely a guy that I've seen for a long time, has fought at a high level, fought Darrell, fought Jermaine Taylor, and almost beat Taylor back in the day. He'll be a tough outing, but that's probably because of his age. I think he's close to 40. I think that if he's going to crack the top 10, you probably want to face him because he'll have the best shot out of the guys that you mentioned.
Now that we mentioned there's so many possible matchups for him, or potential matchups for him, should he, as a young man, just reaching his first fight past the first round, should he even focus on a specific name, or should he be focused on accumulating rounds?
I think that is a good idea. That's why I say, like, maybe take your time a little bit, get him some more fights that where he could do rounds. But at some point in the near future, you kind of want to step him up because I think he's ready to do some rounds and to see what he really got at a higher level. So I think finding an Ishe Smith, like Gabe Rosario type guy, even though, like I said, Gabe might be a little too much right now, but if he could start cracking those guys and then put him in the top 10, I think it's feasible. A Trout will probably be the best guy at top 10 for him to crack that list because he is the number 10 guy and a former world champion. He's tough. This bald-headed guy. You love bald-headed men, so.
Dana White, I think of bald man, I think of Dana White. I used to think of Mr. Clean, but I literally think of Dana White when I think of a bald person.
I think of Steve Austin. So yeah, man, that's what we got for you guys. Who do you think Berlanga should fight next? Who is the most feasible guy at 160 to 168 pounds? Give us your take, man. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Only takes 1 second. Right down there. Just click right there. Go ahead. I'm talking to you. You right there. You right there. Do me that favor. Fuck, smack the shit out of you.
Puerto Rico, te quiero mucho.